Hey guys, Jim here. Thanks for stopping by. Today I want to share with you guys some non-sports cards that I've been picking up lately. I know non-sports cards aren't everybody's cup of tea, but for me, I enjoy them. I think there's some beautiful artwork on some of them. And, I don't really chase after them a lot, but when I get the chance to pick them up and I think they're cool and they're not breaking the bank, I'm more than happy to do so. And in fact, this first one I'm going to share with you guys is actually a bit of a historical card in the sense of our hobby. And so let me just jump right in. This first card is it's from 1890. It's designated as an N150. It's a Duke Honest Long Cut, and that is actress Lillian Russell. And so Lillian Russell was one of the most famous actresses and singers of the late 19th and early 20th century. But really, it's a really cool card. But the really amazing thing about this card is I believe this to have been owned at one time by Jefferson Burdick. And if you are part of the hobby and are not familiar with who Jefferson Burdick is, he basically is the father of card collecting. He pretty much documented, checklisted, and cataloged every non-sport and sport card made from the mid-19th century right up until the early 1960s or late 1950s. He is the creator of the American card catalog. And when we see these sets, like this is an N150, or as many of you are familiar with the T206 set, Jefferson Burdick is the one who gave those designations to these sets. And so obviously a very historical figure in the hobby. And so I got this card, and here's the back. And as you can see, there's some stamps on the back of this. I'm not sure if you can read that, but it says Metropolitan Museum of Art, New York, right there. Then here it says Metropolitan Duplicate, and that's actually somebody's signature. And lastly, it's tough to read, but it says Gift of J.R. Burdick, stamped up there on the top. You can see it was glued into an album or something. So in case there's somebody who doesn't know, Jefferson Burdick actually donated his collection of over 300,000 sports and non-sports cards to the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York, where many of those cards are on display to this day. You can go there and see them. And it's well known that all his cards were glued into albums so that they could be enjoyed there at the museum. Why they were glued in, nobody really knows, but he single-handedly glued every one of his cards into albums as a condition of his donation to the Metropolitan Museum of Art. And so, to me, clearly, this card came from the Metropolitan Museum of Art. It says Gift of J.R. Burdick there on the top. And so, for me, it is just an honor and a pleasure to be able to have a card that he actually held in his hand and touched and owned in his collection. To be able to have that in my collection is really, really pretty awesome, and as far as I'm concerned, because I love collecting cards. I love our hobby, and I really love the history of our hobby. And of course, it doesn't get any more historical than Jefferson Burdick. And so here this is. I did have some concerns about this because as I researched it, there was some speculation that some of his cards could have been stolen from the Metropolitan Museum of Art. I actually made an attempt to contact somebody there, and it's almost virtually impossible. It's almost like trying to contact somebody at the White House. So I wasn't able to do that, but I did speak to some very knowledgeable collectors who told me that what they believe is that that stamp on the back that says duplicate is because it is exactly that, a duplicate. And perhaps somehow these cards were issued to maybe some employees that worked for the Metropolitan Museum, or maybe they were at one time, the duplicates were at one time sold off or some other way distributed back into the hobby. So at any rate, I'm not really sure how this got into the public, but here it is in my hand and in my collection where it's going to stay. And so there is the N150 Duke Honest Long Cut Lillian Russell that once again was owned by Jefferson Burdick. Next up, I've got this really awesome card. It's a 1936 Mitchell & Son Gallery of 1935. And there on the card is Ginger Rogers and Fred Astaire, the great dance partners who partnered in many, many musicals. Just a great pair, a great actress and actor separately as well. Especially particularly Ginger Rogers. She was in many films and musicals and all kinds of stuff. So Ginger Rogers would have been about 25 years old in 1936. And so there's that card. I really love this card. This card is in exceptionally good condition for considering the year of it. It's almost, 90 years old. And this is a pretty cool set, too. There's the back. This set also contains cards of Walt Disney. A very cool card of Walt Disney in this set. Also, boxers Joe Louis and James Braddock, Cinderella Man, have cards in this set as well. So that was pretty cool. Happy to add that one. Next up, I love this card, the colors and the artwork. This is a trade card. It's from 1900. It's a Victorian trade card from Heinz. As you can see, the hat, Heinz and the pickle, 57 good things. We've got a can of baked beans under the right arm and a jar of Heinz India relish under the left arm. Really cool. Great artwork. There's the back. It talks a little bit about what the Heinz company looked like in 1900. 2,600 employees, 16-acre floor space and main plant, 10 branch factories, 51 salting stations, 20,000 acres of land under cultivation, 40,000 people engaged in harvesting crops, 26 branch distributing houses, 400 traveling salesmen. Operates also glass plant, box factory, railroad refrigerator line, railroad tank car line, and branch warehouses and offices in London. Agencies in the leading commercial centers of the world. H.J. Heinz Company, Pittsburgh, USA. I thought that was awesome, man. I love the artwork and the colors on that. So that's cool. You know, the old trade cards, they can be a lot of fun. And so speaking of trade cards, here's another trade card. This one is from the 1880s. And this one is for Hires Root Beer. So you can see the young lady there holding the little package of Hires Root Beer. And apparently that's a Hires Root Beer in her hand. And I thought this was, this picture was pretty cool. It says on the bottom, "What? Never tasted Hires Root Beer? You missed a treat. We keep it here." I just thought this was a cool image here. And what really stands out to me is the size of the Hires package. It's like bigger than her head. It's twice the size of her feet. And they really wanted that to stick out in this piece of artwork, obviously. And so on the back, Hires Improved Root Beer. One 25-cent package makes 5 gallons of a most delicious sparkling temperance beverage. Strengthens and purifies the blood. Its purity and delicacy of flavor commend it to all. Sold everywhere. So that's pretty cool. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but they also have Hires Cough Cure. Pretty awesome, man. I like this. Again, the artwork and the colors are just fantastic. So there's that. Next up, something that I thought was really cool as well. This is Mickey Mouse. This is from the 1930s. And this is basically a recipe card. This was distributed in a loaf of bread. And you can see there's Mickey Mouse. Really cool. Off to the fishing pond. From the looks of the spade, Mickey is going to dig some worms for bait first. We hope he has a good time. And so, like I said, it's basically a recipe card. This is like a piece of paper. It's paper thin. It's not really a card. But you can see on the back, a new peak in flavor and nourishment, Bambi bread, the 100% more butter loaf. Each day there is a new Mickey Mouse adventure picture card with a new distinctive recipe wrapped in every loaf of Bambi bread, the 100% more butter loaf. Mothers, save this distinctive series of tasty recipes for future reference. And then it explains to you how to make an egg sandwich, a ham and egg sandwich, I guess. So if you want a recipe for that, you can pause that and take the recipe. But man, look at that. Mickey Mouse, very colorful, just a great image there with the fishing pole over the shoulder and the spade in the hand. Big smile on his face. Man, I just love that. That's so cool. So then I've got some tobacco cards. Let's see what we've got here. We've got this is from 1910. It's a T30, Hassan cigarettes, Eskimo puppies. Again, the artwork and the color is just fantastic. Here's what the back would look like. This is from a Arctic series that they did. There's the back. So that was pretty cool. Then I've got the tobacco cards. Again, this is Church & Company. You can see it says Church & Company, New York. It says Arm & Hammer. And there's the kingfishers, just a beautiful image of those birds. And here's the back. Out of focus, there we go. That would be the back. Then we've got, this is from the 1880s. P.H. Mayo and Brother Incorporated. Mayo Cut Plug, Richmond, Virginia. Isabel Irving, that's who this woman here would be, for chewing and smoking. So yeah, Isabel Irving was, you can see it's blank back. Somebody wrote a 10 on there with a pencil at one time. But yeah, so Isabel Irving was an American actress, and she was in many productions during her 50-year career, which basically was spanned from the mid to late 19th century to the early to mid 20th century. Isabel Irving. So there's that. That was pretty cool. Then we've got a bunch of cards here from the 1890 N163 Goodwin & Company Old Judge Dogs of the World set. There's the sheepdog. This is what the backs look like on these. This one's not in great condition. Sheepdog or Collie, Dogs of the World, published by Goodwin & Company, Old Judge, Cigarette Factory, New York, New York. So there's that. Same set. We've got the Greyhound. The St. Bernard. Really nice. We've got the Cocker Spaniel. The back. The Pointer. And the English Mastiff. So there's the N163s from 1890. Dogs of the World. Last but not least, I've got this card. I could not find out anything about it. This was actually a throw-in with a couple of the other cards that I bought. I couldn't find anything about it. At first, I thought it was miscut, but I'm starting to think that maybe it was part of a larger card that was cut off, because when you look at the back of it, it's Old Gold cigarettes. It looks like it's got the right writing there, but you can definitely see where somebody's cut it at one time. So I don't know. I think that, you look up here, I think that this was cut from another card. I couldn't really find any information about this at all. But like I said, it was a throw-in, and it was pretty cool. So here it is. That's all I got, guys. Thank you so much. I know non-sports cards are not for everyone, but I hope you enjoyed, maybe learned something, and I'll talk to you all soon. Bye for now.